Alhamdulillahi wahda wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da amma ba'd. So we've been talking about hadith from the principles of fiqh things. So what is hadith Qudsi? You know about Quran and you know about hadith, and there's something in between called hadith Qudsi, which is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said something quoting Allah, saying that Allah said, and this is not part of Quran, and this is not Quran at all. This is not to be recited in prayers. Reciting it would not amount to the reward that you would get by reciting Quran. For each letter you get 10 reward, not with this hadith. The hadith could be Sahih, Daif, all the different levels. So yes, so this is hadith Qudsi, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah said. So you have to check the isnad. And so what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say it in his own words. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and gives him revelation, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam copied exactly, then that's Quran. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got those ideas in his own words delivered to Ummah, this is Hadith Qudsi. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through his knowledge and through his connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, come up with some ideas which is supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not directly given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is his conceived ideas and his wording, that is hadith. All three are protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as long as we can verify that this is from Allah from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then they're all protected. They're all type of wahi, different levels though. So Quran is the most authentic, most strong, because there's a word and the idea all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no changes, nothing. Hadith Qudsi, ideas from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make it into his own words and present it to us. And finally, the ideas and the wordings are that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is hadith or sunnah. Sunnah means the way, the course, the rule, mode, manner, conduct. Okay. What has been authentically related to us on behalf of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from his sayings, from his action, and from his approvals. So sometimes hadith is used interchangeably with the same thing. Literally means something that is being said, a story, a conversation. Okay. The sunnah tends to be more general, and hadith is more to do with the wordings, but they're both used interchangeably. So if it's qawlan, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it, or Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it. Okay. Fi'li, I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doing certain things. Taqreer, when we used to do such and such thing while Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was present, so he didn't stop. So for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or any prophet, it is an obligation. If they find anything wrong, to stop it. If they find something okay, they carry on. So that is called tacit approval or silent approval, and that approval is a binding as well. That becomes a norm as well. Now, how do you identify the hadith is authentic? There are different ways, but hadith can be sahih, it can be hasan, it can be daif, it can be very daif, very weak, it can be mawdu, fabricated. But there are many shades in between, so we just would focus on these 5 to begin with. And how do you know a hadith is sahih? There are many different criteria, but 5 points, 5 criteria are accepted by almost majority of ummah. A few extra, they would have 1 or 2 added, but generally these 5 are the most widely accepted. So the first is isnad. Isnad is the chain, the connectivity. When you narrate something, you should know who you are narrating it from, and he from who, and he from who, all the way back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that isnad has to be there, the chain. Then the narrator must be very, very precise in his dhabt. Dhabt means that his memory, he's got fantastic retentive memory. He can retain the idea. He can say it clearly. He can say it verbatim. He knows what he's talking about. Means that his words are clear. He's not saying something today, something later on, and he forgot. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu made people, write some of the hadith, and a year later, the king of the time, the Khalifa of the time, called him again and asked to recite the same hadith. And he did exactly in the same order without any mistake. And he asked someone to correct it from behind the curtain, hiding. He didn't know that someone is checking it. But he was amazed to see, how could you remember all the hadiths by heart, just in the same order, exactly the same, no change. So what means that they should have a retentive memory. And then adala, they should have fantastic integrity, means their practice is upon Sharia. They do not commit sin. They're not liars. They're not, transgressors. They would not commit any sin publicly. They would not even leave, any of the major sunnahs, which are considered to be part of our day-to-day life, means coming to the masjid, praying, having beard. They do not even leave, they do not even commit certain, public sins, minor sins even, leaving the sunnah of Rasulullah. They wouldn't do that. They are seen as someone who's upright. So the adalah, they are literally considered to be the imam, the gem, the person who you could just, listen to, take from. They're not going to lie to you. They would not concoct a lie. They're not going against the teaching of Islam. Now, the hadith should not have any, the hadith should not have any hidden defects in it. Hidden defect is, we were both present at the same time, but I said that I heard it from you. If you check the date of birth and date of death, we were both present in that era, in that time, and we were both in Red Bridge, and yet this particular narration, I didn't take it from you, but many others did. So I heard from those students, oh, I missed that class the other day. Or was that the hadith? Okay, fine, I took that hadith from that student in between you and me. And yet, I just say it. So people wouldn't know. They would say, yeah, but if you look at the register of attendance, he wasn't there in the majlis. So that's a hidden defect there. Although I claim that I heard it from you, and everyone knew that I was your student, for example, but there was a problem because during that time I was infected with COVID and I was in hospital and I was like, not attending any classes, for example. So how come someone who knew that much detail about that individual would identify that? Imam Bukhari was imam of this subject, this topic as well, illah. Okay, some hidden defect which apparently is not known or seen to people, many people. That is why Imam Muslim rahmatullah alayhi would come to Imam Bukhari and he would ask certain question, and when Imam Bukhari would say, oh, there's illah there, that's the illah. Oh my goodness, subhanallah, ya Shaykh, let me kiss your hand, kiss your feet, because you are just Imam. You're the doctor who could treat all the diseases of these hidden defects. So Imam Sahib was amazing. And there should be no anomaly. Ashad. Shuduz or anomalous hadith is a hadith which a narrator who is good, but he's not the best. So he goes against the best narrator. So he says something which is against the hadith of someone who is higher than him. So obviously, we could have taken his hadith if it didn't go against that one. That's what's called a shadh. Okay, shadh hadith. So a hadith should be free from all those problems. It shouldn't be shadh. There should be no hidden defect. And the narrator shouldn't have any problem. Last two are related to the matan, the text of the hadith. First three are related to the chain. So there has to be a connectivity, and then every piece or every chain, every member of the chain must be upright, must be very good with his memory. So those are the five. So it's now dabt, adala, illa, and shadh, shuduz. So it should be free from all of those five present. The hadith is sahih. Inshallah, we leave it there. May Allah give us tawfiq. If there was any question you can ask about this or anything else, we take from there and move on, inshallah, next week.